the media hoax that you need to be aware of, because I mentioned it before with Mamdani. So the report, according to the BBC, NBC News, Al Jazeera, The Guardian, all of these various outlets, Israel killed an Al Jazeera cameraman. Oh man, Al Jazeera, you know, the totally normal, unbiased, not at all an Islamic Front outlet publication. This cameraman just walking around with a Polaroid. Ahmed Wisha. How could they do it? The Jews just said, aha, a journalist. Wah, Mazel tov this. And then they just riddled him full of bullets. And then they told the dogs to go abuse him. I knew it. And everything bagel is a secret Jewish plot. I don't know. I didn't finish watching the rest of that Tucker Carlson episode. In reality, the cameraman was a sniper for Hamas. And again, please do not just take my word for it. This journalist who supposedly Israel blasted has, all of these different videos of him walking around. There are videos, there are pictures, various pictures of him like saddling up, kind of catching windage with his sniper rifle. But he's just the cameraman. Now, to be fair, before we get to anything further in here, I will be honest, a sniper probably would make an excellent cameraman. Keeping the shot steady and focused at a distance, not a bad hire. Not bad at all. But when I was over in the Middle East in the last year, while I was there, I was recording and doing an interview with some of the Israeli artillerymen, and then the village right next to them who was against the artillery strike. So I did, kind of a both sides thing. I know, kind of cool how you can do that. So I was interviewing them. If I would have said, you know what, I really want to be like my old West Point liaison officer. I want to be like Nate Lamar, who's a great guy, captain out of Indiana. I'm just going to go, I want to yank the lanyard, fire some artillery shells. At that moment, you stop being a journalist and you start being a combatant. Huh? Kind of cool how that works. I know, crazy. Same with the riots and the protests. The minute you stop being a protester is when, like LaMonica McIver of New Jersey, you body slam federal agents. It's amazing. It's almost like there are standards that you too can have. It's really, really cool. So producer Jen actually has the clip for us. We really appreciate her grabbing this of this journalist. So I want you to tell me if this looks like a journalist to you. Here you go. Sorry, not the Japanese lady cleaning up after the World Cup. There you go. So first of all, the first thing I do whenever I need to file an article or for example, edit today's episode, I get out the Kalashnikov, and I can't tell at this angle whether that's an AK-47 or the AK-74, the submachine variant. It could just be a Kalashnikov with, the actual stock either sawn off or detached. But he's firing it into the air like journalists do. It's a cameraman. That's just his, that's just his Soviet ammunition camera. Like you do? Oh, you've never done that before? Anyway, this is Zoran Mamdani's new hero. The gaslighting they think that is going to walk this out. So according to the actual reporting here, because again, Mamdani has suggested that AIPAC is for killing people like that. Oh no, the horror. Anyway, that guy that Mamdani was defending, according to the Washington Free Beacon, which has excellent reporting on this, quote, a Hamas military operative who doubled as an Al Jazeera photojournalist died in an Israeli airstrike in Gaza over the weekend, marking the latest example of a jihadist militant operating under the guise of a journalist in the Strip. The photojournalist Ahmed Samir Muhammad Washach was, quote, had advanced sniper attack plans and additional terrorist activities against Israel, the IDF announced. Incredible. I have a standard here on the show. And the standard that I have is whenever I see these initial reports that sweep through the internet, I like to make it clear with you guys when I'm speculating on data or I'm saying we don't have enough yet, and so I'm going to move on. Maybe the story's circulating today. And by the way, maybe a lot of the stories that you see on the internet are correct. For example, the Henry Novak situation, in which the young man in England was stabbed to death by the Sikhs around him, and then the Sikhs called the cop and said he was racist and stuff, and the cop showed up and arrested Henry Novak as he bled to death. I held off on reporting on that for a couple of days because I wanted to make sure that we got the details correct. That's a me thing. If you want to go on social media and you want to find the latest, the hottest, the spiciest, right to the edge first reporting, you go ahead. I would prefer right now for us to make sure that we do everything we can not to issue correction after correction after correction. Now, we try to have the latest news of the day for you, but I do try to be careful, not just because I don't want an FCC fine, but because if I start going out again and again and again and making major mistakes in my coverage to you, you'll go find another show, and you should, to be clear. Like, for example, if I brought on a guest who suggested that, well, actually, the Ottoman Turks were super nice to Christians, like all Muslims are. And well, I mean, actually, they didn't go out and make Christians in the regions governed by the Ottomans pay a tax because Muslims force Christians to pay a tax to live there if they're not Muslim. You have to pay a not being a Muslim tax. I could just lie to you like some people who bring on guests.
And their Muslim rulers didn't do that during the Ottoman period.
Okay, so the answer is no. The Muslim rulers didn't tax churches during the Ottoman period. They were very kind to Christians.
Bro. So first of all, Ottoman officials forcibly collected young boys from the empire's Christian subjects as a form of taxation. They stole children. Radio crew, I'm sorry, I have to send you to the commercial break, or I should say the end of show. We're going to continue on the live stream. Daily Signal here over on YouTube. It's the Tony Kinnett Cast. You guys take care and see you tomorrow. All right, while the radio crew is out for the evening, to restate my point here, Ottoman officials forcibly collected young boys from the empire's Christian subjects as a form of taxation. They were then taken back to Istanbul, forcibly converted to Islam, and then trained to be the Sultan's military slaves, the Janissaries. Ottomans launched slaving raids into the Slavic lands, taking 3 to 5.5 million Christians as slaves. And of course, as we know, the Barbary Corsairs captured over 1 million Christians as slaves in Western and Southern Europe. So suggesting that, well, churches themselves weren't taxed. No, they absolutely were.
As a matter of fact, they took care of our holy sites. They had rebuilt, Islamic authorities rebuilt the Church of the Sepulchre 3 different times.
I will remind each and every one of you that first and foremost, the Church of the Resurrection, like the actual resurrection tomb we believe that Christ raised from on the Protestant side of things, is in the Muslim quarter of Jerusalem, of Old Jerusalem. And when I went there, I was asked to leave. And then I was escorted out by Muhammad or whatever. So I wasn't even allowed to be in there. So don't give me, again, so many sites. I'm not allowed to walk freely around Judea and Samaria. Get out of here with this garbage.
Over the centuries, they had a law protecting Christian pilgrims on their journey. Like nobody messed with the
Ottoman Turks, the Muslim rulers of the Holy Land, rebuilt the Church of the Holy Sepulchre 3 times.
3 times. Yeah. Either completely rebuilt it or a major renovation. One time it caught on fire and they redid the roof.
Hey, who tore it down? Who tore it down? And who was it that rebuilt it? Was it like the Ottomans who sent in the Muslim architects into Jerusalem and then they rebuilt it themselves? Guess what? No. Don't be dumb. Don't be stupid. Again, there's so many out here right now that are just trying to gaslight you into pretending that actually, guys, like the Islam, it's fine. I mean, they're just journalists and friends and they're just hugging everybody and it's wonderful. So the dumbest of the dumb, the stupidest decisions